Hello. I was like, that's weird. That's that button on the bottom is supposed to be green, but it's in fact red. Why is it red? I don't understand why it's red. And I was like, shit. You know what? I forget that I pushed the button. I forget that I pushed the button. I know I've pushed the button, but I don't know if that was in the past or if that was in the distant past. You know. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So, as you may know, wait, I haven't done the Discord thing because, like I said, I didn't expect to be on, just on. And I was going to have a shower tonight, but Damon isn't here. And, well, I like having a shower when Damon's here because he does me back. So, yeah. Okay. So, there's going to be a little bit of randomness, random craziness happening on the art stuff button channel. I have a bit of indigestion because I ate basically bad food. I just straight up ate bad food. You know what? There you go. But how are you doing, Panafox? What bad food? Well, I ordered takeout. So I ordered my regular. I either have a pizza from. We only have one place that does good takeout here because I live in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. Remember, and there's only one place that actually does decent takeout here, which is like it's usually really good. It's usually so good, which is why I was surprised. And why it was usually. I mean, I can order something from them and it will arrive here and I will basically I will be super happy and stuffed and very, very satisfied with the food. It's satisfying fast food. It is. However, this time was a bit different. I basically order there, but I order that from there like once a month, once every other month. So it's not like I'm binging on fast food. So yeah, I either order a like 16-inch pizza because you can get really big pizzas here, along with a prawn cocktail and some cheesy fries, some cheesy curly fries. So good. Or I order a doner pita, which is doner meat, just kebab meat, kebab doner meat, in a pita bread, and usually that is pretty good with some sweet chili sauce on it. It's just brilliant. It's lovely, and a prawn cocktail and that's prawn cocktail, not shrimp cocktail, and some cheesy chips. Because I've been feeling down recently, and also because I'm trying to kick the gaining into gear a little bit, I basically decided to order a couple of extra things this time. So basically, I ordered some a prawn cocktail, some curly, a large and XL. They have an XL Donna Pita, and some curly cheesy fries, as well as some nachos with a mango chutney dip. And yeah, their standards went way down. I was bummed. I was actually pissed off a little bit. I thought it was a slow day because normally the doner meat there is fantastic. It's fantastic. You know, I don't know what it is, but it's usually pretty good, and it goes well with sweet chili sauce, and it basically tastes great. And you know, their prawn cocktails are, you know, it's great. They use really, really nice prawns, and they usually smother it with sauce and have the best. The best. I had a brain fart then. Honestly, I was just like, what am I trying to say here? I was like, but I was just talking. I was like, oh no, I was just talking. Shut up. With the best iceberg lettuce as well. And this time, the prawn cocktail was disappointing and had a weird aftertaste. And I think I might have given myself food poisoning, which is great. You know, it had the aftertaste of like, okay, this is seafood, and it might have been left out for a bit too long, and I might die. Awesome. So off to a bad start. Cheesy curly fries. The cheese was all on the bottom. It didn't look like it. Usually they have grated cheese and they sprinkle over the grated cheese, over the curly fries. But the cheese was just on the bottom of the container with the fries on top of it. So I had to flip it upside down. And even then, I just had a layer of cheese that didn't melt into the curly fries. So basically, curly fries, which wasn't that bad, to be honest, especially with, I made myself some dip, and I basically dipped the giant ball of cheese with some curly fries in it into it and then ate that. Then came the cheesy nachos, because they had cheesy nachos this time, and they had mango chutney dip. So I dipped, you know, and it was nice. However, there wasn't much of it. And again, there was way too much cheese, and I didn't want that much cheese. You know, it was cheesy nachos, but Jesus Christ, add more nachos. You know, and then the doner kebab, the doner pita bread. It was not bad, but there was just that it was very inconsistent with its thickness of its meat, and some of it was a bit overdone. If it was underdone, I wouldn't have eaten it, guys. So don't worry about that. I'm not actually going to die of food poisoning, I hope. But yes, after eating all of that thing, I thought that I could die of food poisoning. So yeah. Ultimately, it wasn't. It was kind of a satisfying, unsatisfying thing. It's like the amount was correct, quality was a bit off. So yeah, I poopied about that, and now my eye doesn't. It wasn't when I wasn't on stream. My eye was fine. Oh, it's okay. Okay. But back to the picture. I will read the chat in just a hot second. I'm in the middle of this though. Can you just stay there? You know what? Could you just stay there? Could you just stay right there? Ugh. Fine. I'm going to get the eye patch out. It's the wrong eye, though. It's only this eye that is a pain in the ass. I don't know why this eye is complaining tonight. And I've run out of eye spray. Okay. Just deal with it. Holy crap. I mean, can I do that? Oh, look at that. Yeah, so the graininess of the pencil and the paper super went up just now. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So both eyes are stinging now. Yay! Just keep wiping away the crap. You know what? I'm going to treat them to a nice little eye bath. I think that's what they need. You know, it's one of those things where you basically have this kind of eye-shaped cup, and you basically put it over your eye, and it's got witch hazel and stuff in it, which is apparently very good for your eye. And saline. And then you just kind of blink lots, and it basically clears out the eye. Fuck. Okay, now I'm back to this eye being aggravating. Okay, I just want to get this one thing done. Can I please just get this one thing done? Please. Please. Thanks. Right. Lovely. It's taken a while to say it's saving. Right. I'm going to upload this to Discord and everything in a hot second. I have got something else crazy to upload to Discord. I want to do it when my eyes haven't been such a pain in the ass. I mean, this eye being a pain in the ass is definitely distracting from the other eye being a pain in the ass, because I think my body's realised that it needs one eye, it needs one to function. So yeah, honestly, I do not know how blind people do it. Like, hats off to those people that are visually impaired. Like, that would suck, you know. Right. Right. Hey Howard. I'm gonna get ready to leave in the morning. Okay, you were joking when you said you were gonna eat fat. To be honest, it's only one more. It's one more thing that I added to my regular order. To be honest, so it wasn't that. Yeah. Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, it was really good. It was, you know, it was good. It's just that it wasn't really good. You know, it wasn't. It was. Yeah, really good would be exaggerating. It was okay. It's just that, like I said, I had Ocean's 8, which is an okay film. Put in. I basically like the cast. I don't like the actual story. The actual story is a bit shit, in my opinion. But I had Ocean's 8 on. I ordered food. Food arrived. I ate it. You know, it wasn't a satisfying evening, and it wasn't a not satisfying evening. Although the quantity of food was quite okay, the quality of the food was just there. And, you know, you shouldn't feel like you've got food poisoning 2 times in one meal, you know? So, there's that. Right. Ah. Every time I always lose this one file. Okay, so I'm going to move those to the new. No, wait. So I'm just moving all of the files. Good. So, guys, the first. Am I back? Did it work? I didn't have to do anything actually. My computer just like took over. It took over the rebooting process. But yeah, the internet went down for a quick second on this computer only, not on this computer. So I was able to still upload everything. So yeah. So oh shit! I clicked on the wrong thing. Right, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Okay, so that's all the other stuff. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? It's all uploaded everywhere. There's not much to say about it, really, I guess. That's very true, Howard. Please don't call attention to it. It might hear you. I don't really have much to say about the picture that I did. Yeah. I love the first picture you so round. Do you mean the original or the redesign? The redo. He's basically it was hard. I had to pick to see. I had to decide if he was standing up or sitting down. But he doesn't look much different standing up or sitting down from that angle because his belly does literally just cover all everything. So yeah. Yeah, in the first picture, he fits on 2 chairs comfortably. In the second picture, he fits on, you know, in the redo, in the revisit, he fits on 3 chairs uncomfortably. I will say this, Paradox. Excuse me. So I'm a bit too full to breathe in all the way. His head, the bull's head. I basically I got it perfect in pencil, and the second that I basically I slipped with the pen. So his face looks a little bit screwy, but it's not entirely, well, it's entirely my fault. But yeah, I slipped with the pen. So yeah. Yeah, I took a different design approach. When I was doing in pencil, I realized that I could do the shading at the same time. So I did everything in pencil first, and then I just highlighted the characters in pen. That's why there wasn't any just pen, just inking phase, because I did everything in pencil first, including the shading and everything, and then I went over it in pen. I should have restarted this computer because it crashed. So I should have just restarted it, but so it might be a bit twitchy. That might be why the internet's not working on it fully. So I do apologize if the stream is a little bit shitty at the moment, but we can do. But yeah, that's round 1 so far. I don't know what I'm going to do with round 2 because he really doesn't. He really doesn't. Pop's figure means that it's not going to be easy for me to redesign, you know, reposition him in the second picture. Because I think Kingston's standing on a chair in the second picture and everything, and yeah. I'm glad you like the first picture. I hope that the next ones are going to be better. Maybe. Kind of. Hopefully. If you're wondering, by the way, about the redesign of the chairs, I just made it look like it's the same place, but it's been, you know, it's been 2 years, so they've renovated at least once. I was going to put the sign in on the window, but also it didn't look great in the original in the first place. I know what I was going for, but it didn't. You know, in the original, I know what I was aiming at, but it didn't work out so well when I finally finished it. So I figured I could either redesign the sign, or I could leave it blank and just have the kind of stained glass windows. And I kind of just left the window, but it does make it look almost like it's just a wall panel, because you can't really tell. But yeah, and like I said, the chairs, I know I was going with the original design of the chairs, but when I finished the original design of the chairs, when I first did it, I actually didn't like how the chairs looked. They looked very just, it doesn't work very well with pencil. So I just made them generic kind of wooden chairs, and figured that in a Mexican restaurant, in a Mexican place, that everyone that I've been to, they've always had just like wooden chairs, just traditional wooden chairs that you'd find at like just dining room chairs. They just seem to be wooden dining room chairs. So I just I kind of replaced them with that. However, the characters, I did the chairs first, and because I was setting up where everybody was and stuff, and you can't even see the chairs, so it's kind of a little bit pointless. But yeah, I did also think about having like the tablecloth just not be there, but I figured that just to save me a little bit more, a little bit of time, and to keep with the original just a little bit. I don't want to change too much. To put the tablecloth on, and then that saves me having to draw feet, because you know me and feet. So yeah, I'm actually thankful for Pop's big belly being in the way, that you can't see his feet that clearly, but you can see one of each of their feet, so that's something, I guess. So yeah. But yeah, I think it turned out okay. I'm glad that you like it, dude. Feet are a bitch. Yeah. See, I'm glad somebody gets it. You know, Pop looks nicely stuffed. He's just got there. No, you know when Pop's nicely stuffed, because current Pop, at his current size, I would say that you could tell if he's nicely stuffed because he's either on his back or on his belly. It's one or the other, you know, because he can't lean back anymore, because he ends up just falling back onto his belly, onto his back with his belly in the air. And if he leans forward any amount, then he seems to roll onto his belly. So he's kind of, yeah, he's past the tipping point. He is a bit spherical. He was spherical before, but he basically could, you know, he had legs. So yeah. But no, this is just the beginning of the meal. There's how many parts is in this series? I think 4. So yeah. It's funny looking at characters, you know, trying to say to yourself, so how big is Pop now? And it's like, he's double his weight almost. So yeah. I will say that he's about as big, just in volume, as he is in the last picture of the original series of the series at the beginning. So how big he's gonna end up at the end of this one, I have no idea, and well, I'm just doing it picture by picture. And I am thinking about what the next picture is going to be, but the next picture is also going to be a bit of a redesign of a repositioning of the characters. So yeah. I also did a perspective shift, I just noticed. It looks okay. In other news, what did you guys think of the morphs? I was just wandering around on Tumblr the other day, just to see, just going through the wasteland of Tumblr. My Tumblr hasn't been taken down, by the way. My Tumblr hasn't been taken down. There's a bunch of posts that have been taken off Tumblr, but they're, for the most part, my Tumblr has been untouched. It's it's not completely fine, but like I said, there's just, my Tumblr has been mostly untouched. And I've been just going through people's, the Tumblrs that I've been following. I've just been every now and again looking at and stuff. And that's when I came across a picture of me padded. And I was like, that's funny. It almost looks like my face is actually quite big in that picture as well. And then I noticed that it is actually, it is actually my picture, for one thing. And also that it's been edited and morphed. So yeah, so there's a guy on Tumblr called Low Effort Morphs or something. And basically he's done me a couple of times and I just haven't noticed it. Because I found the face picture. And I really don't know how to feel about it. And it made me giggle. So I'm not offended. But holy crap, is that just it's a little bit scary, but it's scary and funny at the same time. But yeah, I just thought I should share them because yeah. The guy does interesting stuff, and it's definitely clear what that guy likes, whoever that is. Crap, I'm running out of fizzy. Yeah, I have mentioned why feet and hands are actually really problematic before. So you always get really thirsty after a bit of a binge. Oh my god, that's bad. Yeah, I've explained this before, but feet and hands, hands in particular. I don't know why I don't like doing feet. I really don't know why I don't like doing feet, but I don't like doing feet. But hands in particular are usually the most difficult thing to draw on account of there's a lot of there's a lot of different ways that they can be posed in. There's each individual finger and then the thumb, and then basically you've got the orientation of the hand and where you're going to see it, and you've got the tilting and all of these parts of articulation and how you're going to draw it means that it's literally it's probably in the billions the way the combinations of how you can draw the hands, which means that you can never really draw the same hand twice. It's like in every single picture that you do where hands or paws are in the picture, that is a unique hand placement, hand positioning and everything. So you can't really get used to drawing hands, especially in certain pictures. So yeah, it's different. So whereas you might draw an entire full body picture of a character and you might do just a profile shots, or you might do them in a specific pose or something, you will probably use that pose again, and that's fine. But the hands, it's always different. If you're drawing a close-up of somebody and you include the hand, then it's a different pose. And yeah, so I can understand what you mean by hands. They are a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes, but feet, I don't know why, but just drawing feet and, you know, how big the toes are going to be, and, you know, it's very easy. I think that's what it is. I think that's why it bugs me to draw feet, or paws or hooves or whatever you want to call them, and that's because it's, you know, it's very easy to disproportionate, you know, to make them not proportionate to another part of the body. You know, so either you end up with teeny feet, or in my case, I end up drawing big feet. You know, they end up being way bigger than they're supposed to be. So yeah, it's funny, and it's incredibly easy to do that. It's incredibly easy to do that because I just want to include detail. You know, I want to put detail into a lot of the stuff, and when you add a detail to like a toe, you can make that toe huge compared to the rest of the foot, or make the entire foot way bigger than everything else in the body, and it's like, oh, you know, it's just it can make a picture look incredibly off, you know. So I tend to either completely avoid them or make sure they're right by redoing them and redoing them until they're okay. So yeah, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but in a lot of my early stuff, when I was using pencil and then pen, you will notice that there's kind of a little bit of a smudge mark around people's, you know, below the waist. Everything below the waist of a character is slightly, you know, there's like a grey cloud around it, and that's basically because I've sort of spent so much time erasing it and then redrawing it with pencil and then erasing it again and then redrawing something, and so yeah, feet and hands. So yeah. They're also, I think that it's also a perspective marker, you know, like you can ignore perspective completely by just drawing somebody from like the chest up, from here. You don't really need to know that this is the corner of this particular wall, you know. You can just see me, you know. Well, it doesn't matter if I'm what my perspective is. It's kind of, you can just see me. It's kind of a profile shot. However, when you add feet into the picture, then, you know, you can tell where the camera is. You know, it's a perspective marker. It basically tells you, if the feet are flat, for example, that the camera is actually quite high. You know, it's quite high up. If the feet are kind of like facing the camera, then basically either the camera is far away, or basically the camera is quite low or to the ground. And if they're, you know, it's the same from side to side and everything. It's a perspective marker. And it's stupid because basically that can fuck up a picture. You know, one person's foot could be in the wrong place and it will be super obvious and super noticeable. And yeah, it's like, are they standing on a ledge? Is that what's happening? But so yeah, it's just one of those things. That's very interesting in terms of like how you describe that. Well, it's just you know, it's a common art term, you know, perspective markers. like how you lay out a picture. Usually you decide your perspective markers at the beginning of how you lay out a picture. You decide where the characters are going to be in the picture, or buildings and stuff. And what you do is you put a perspective marker down, and you make sure that they're all in the right place so that you can continue to draw the picture. Perspective markers when it comes to doing drawings of buildings or even fonts, even like 3D fonts and stuff, usually have two perspective markers and they meet somewhere in the middle, and that's where you draw a 3D object. Usually perspective markers are off the page, and you might have seen this. Some drawing desks, some of the old animation desks, or even some people who make blueprints or do poster designs and stuff like that. The old drawing desks, they usually have like these stars in like the corners, and they have one in the middle and they have one at the bottom, and that's because those are perspective markers, and the paper would be placed in the middle of the desk, and it's so that you can line up everything. And yeah, but you have other perspective markers in the middle of your pages and stuff, and they can be you know, they will just line up the perspective of other things. And for organic forms, perspective markers are like tree roots, for example. You know, tree roots are, you can either have the tree kind of line up perfectly with the camera like that, so that the tree, you can, you know, say it's like my hand, it's a tree root, and the tree's like here. You can have it lined up with the camera like almost perfectly, and that would mean that the camera, like feet, is far away. And if you show tree roots kind of like that, then it's either the tree is either on a hill, or it means that the tree, that your camera perspective is from high up. So yeah, it's things like that. It shows you where the perspective of a shot is, and like I said, feet, and things like tables and chairs. You know, like if the table counter surface is completely flat, or the seat is flat, then basically the camera's far away. And if it's kind of like, if you can see what's on the table, or you can see most of the chair when nobody's sitting on it, then the camera's high up. And if you can see under the table, or the table slightly tilted upwards, then the camera's quite low down. Perspective markers, it's just it's a thing. So yeah, and like I said, if just one of these things is off, then you can fuck up an entire picture. It can really screw with your perspective in the picture, and it's just, yeah. But yeah, when I did some of the animation, or not animation, the drawing classes and stuff, I basically showed I had to talk a lot about perspective markers, so I could still talk about them. There's loads that we can get into. There's like a couple of hours of syllabus that you can probably get into with just perspective markers by themselves. But yeah, I remember being in school actually, and I designed in graphic design. Graphic design was class in my high school. In graphic design, you can actually, I spent an entire year messing with perspective markers just to see how things would look if you basically just had two and just made a block world, and I just add to it using the perspective markers, because you can do that. And it's, yeah, it was kind of cool, but it was kind of like stupid. You can make them even more 3D by adding another one at the top. then everything looks like pyramid, like it's weird. Like I said, I spent an entire year doing that. I made fonts and everything using the perspective marker technique. Okay, so it's an eyelash that's causing this eye to freak out. By the way, I watched Ocean's 8. Like I said, I watched Ocean's 8. Who the hell was Rihanna in that movie? Because I saw that at the end of the movie. I saw, like, Rihanna. I was like, where? Where was Rihanna? I really don't know what to think of that movie. I really like Julia Roberts, and I love Hella. Like that. Only some people are going to know who I'm talking about when I say Hella. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that movie. I think it's because everybody's comparing it to. Yeah. I think that's I think that's the fatal trap that I fell into. I think because I really like I really like the Oceans. Is it Oceans 11? Yeah, I really like the Oceans 11 movie. And Oceans 12 to an extent. I didn't think that was. I thought that was a little bit funny, kind of. Um, like I said, I don't understand. What's stopping me from liking this movie as much as I want to enjoy this movie? Because I love the cast. I love the cast. Like I said, I love Julie Roberts, Helen Bonham Carter, whatever her name is. She was not bad in this. I like that. Um, I love Kate Blanchett. She can do almost no wrong. Um, The Indian lady, I did love the Indian lady. I thought she was quite nice. I wish there was more. Yeah, I just wish there was more. But yeah, I really appreciated. I like Julie Roberts, and I love, I love Julie Roberts's and Kate Blanchett's. I love their interactions. It was quite good. I think that's what it was. There was a lot more. There was a lot more comedy and humor in Ocean's 11. Um, I was expecting Miss Congeniality level of comedy from Julia Roberts, and it isn't that much. You are very much wanting more comedy. You're wanting more Roberts in this. I have no idea why. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. I was looking forward to very much her and Blanchett being together. Doing the doing the Clooney and the Brad Pitt things. I was very much looking forward to that. The Clooney and the Brad Pitt. I was very much looking. I like that. I would like that. Oh, what's her name? What is her name? Hathaway, right? I thought she was great in this as well. I loved her personality. um, but yeah, also the movie felt shorter. There seemed to be less at stake. I don't know why. I just seemed it. There's a lot. All of this movie makes a lot of callbacks, and as much as I appreciate them, I felt that they were in the way a lot of the actual character building and stuff like that, because it's just very much. It's a bit too simple. Is the other thing. Yeah, it's slightly too simple. So yeah, seriously, if anybody's watched this movie, tell me who Rihanna was in this movie, because I don't know. Am I just blind? I didn't see her in this movie at all. She can't have been the hacker. Like I said, there was no personalities apart from like three of the characters. Three or four of the characters had personality. The rest of them are kind of just interchangeable. So it was just like, you could have got any hacker. You could have got anybody to do. I wanted to, there's no Matt Damon. There's no girl Matt Damon. You know. But yeah, I liked the movie. I didn't dislike the movie. I thought it was quite good. I wish that there should have been more of it, because there wasn't enough. Um, there just wasn't enough comedy. Helen Brown, I can't, I can't, I can't say what that is. what her name is. Is it Tim Burton's wife? I can't remember who it is. It's either Tim Burton or it's not Tim Burton. The other one is the trio, the wife. But yeah, they. You think they split? Well, I don't know. I don't follow this stuff, but well, her. Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, that woman. You know, she was great in this. I just liked her. She even has a convincing Irish accent, which is actually quite cool. But it's the batshit craziness aspect of it. Is that basically she's interesting. She plays a designer, and basically she's just had this fashion show, and she's like, you know, everybody agrees that it's kind of a bit shit. You know, her fashion is crap, and her the actual show itself, well, the idea of the show itself was a bit of a disaster. You know, and you know, she's just kind of like in the back of a dressing room somewhere, basically eating Nutella out of a jar with a spoon. You know, just lamenting that it all doesn't work. And it's just like yeah, it's just it's I don't know why, but it's just she plays all that. She plays all of that perfectly. It's very cool. It's you know, she plays that bit of the batshit craziness a bit too well, but then again, it's that woman. So yeah. You know, eventually this eye is just going to run out of eye moisture, and it's probably going to hurt. In which case, it's going to be a bad thing. Oh no, it's if you basically like the Ocean's movie, then it's worth a watch. But you know, I wouldn't pay for it. You know, it's basically something to see on TV, or like I don't know, stream it. You know, but I mean, like do I did. Just it's kind of one of those films that you kind of you watch by yourself while you take out. You know, it's not really a watch with people thing. It's just kind of a yeah. It's just if you like the Ocean's films, then yeah, I'm looking forward to the box set. If they I want them to make a sequel, maybe at least one sequel. But it's worth waiting for the box set if they don't do that. However, you have to be tricky. The Ocean's movies are tricky as fuck, so be careful, because right when you think that they're not going to make any more and you want to get the box set, they'll make another one. They'll just make another one. Because I've already told this story. I probably told this story a while ago. But still. Yeah, Ocean's 9. They basically got Ocean's 9 and 10 that they can make. Before they have to juggle with what they can call it next. With all the noises. It's because of Ian. I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, I've told this story before, but basically, like, I was on the way home from work, and one of the cool things about being in London, when I worked in London, One of the cool things about being in London is that basically I used to go past a HMV store, which is a shop that sells CDs and video games and DVDs and Blu-rays now. By the time it was just DVDs. And yeah, I used to go home. I used to go for a shopping center, and they had one of these stores, and I used to hunt through the bargain bins and check things out and stuff like that. And this was a good, I don't know how many years after Ocean's 12 came out, and I was like, I saw the Ocean's 11 and 12 movie box set, and I was like, it's been a few years now. It doesn't feel like they're going to make a sequel to this soon. I haven't seen it advertised anywhere. It's, yeah, that's no problem. So, you know, I pick it up. You know, I get the box set, and I'm sitting on the I'm sitting on a bus on the way home. And you know, I basically get on the bus, and I wait for more people to get on the bus. Basically, I just I'm holding the HMV bag in my hand, and I just kind of like I'm on the top deck of a double-decker bus. See, this is how much in London I was. And I just put the thing down, and look out the window, and you know, these revolving signs, you know, the ones that basically are made out of triangles, and they have like an advertisement on them, and then they change to another advertisement. Well, it was changing from like a T-Mobile ad to an Ocean's 13 ad, and I was like, really? I just thought, oh fuck, this is going to ruin the continuity of my DVD collection. And that's when Ocean's 13 came out, and yeah. So yeah, like I said, be careful with the Ocean's movies. You know, if you're going to get them on like a collector's edition Blu-ray box set, then yeah, go for that. But just be careful. Make sure they're not making another one. Otherwise, you're gonna find out the second you try to buy that thing. Well, I'm done talking. I don't know what else to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to do about filming, because basically I don't know when I'm going to be okay to film this thing. Like I said, tomorrow. It depends if I'm better tomorrow, then I might film it, but I don't know. It depends when Damon gets back, because we're going to the funeral directors probably tomorrow. Well, they are the heist movies. They are the heist movies. The ones that all the other heist movies are compared to. You can't remember who was in 12? Ruby Coltrane. Bruce Willis. I love Bruce Willis in that movie. It's pretty good. Yeah. Willis played himself. Willis played himself in Ocean's 12. In Ocean's 12, um, he played himself. Julia Roberts plays Tess, and also herself in this, and it's so funny. It's so funny. It's definitely artsy. It's definitely very artsy. They do love to play with their music in this. Oh, what's her name? Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's in that one too. She's in Ocean's 12 too. But yeah, there's a few others as well, but I can't remember that. I don't know their names. Who wasn't in Ocean's 13? That's Al Pacino, isn't it? He's in that one. Yeah. There's a few. Yeah, they always had good casts. They always had good casts. Mm. So I just responded to something on Loopy server. Have I seen Rampage? No. I think I don't. I haven't actually had the opportunity to see it. It's never been on anything that I want to. I've never seen. It's never been on something that I want to that I'm watching. You know, it's never been on TV when I want to see it. Well, you know, I just haven't had the urge to see it. Nobody I know has the DVD, so they haven't lent it to me. You know, yeah, it's just never been up. You know, to watch. You know, maybe if I'm on a plane or something. I don't know. Any good? It's good even though they change things. How? What? Oh. They do that. I'm still really looking forward to basically. Aren't they making a Tekken movie or something? Like the starters, it's animals now instead of people. Okay. I don't know much of the game. I think I know about it, but yeah. I really loved. You know what? I used to love Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. I can't stand the fuck out of it now. I fucking hate it. I really wish that it would go away. I mean, it's almost a good. You know, it's so bad it's good kind of movie. But you know, I can't stand the over silliness of it. For example, um, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. I fucking hate that movie. I used to love it as a kid, but I hate it now. It's just it's too silly. It's too silly. Yeah. I don't know why I don't like it anymore, but besides the fact that it's too silly, I don't know why I don't like movies that are just batshit crazy with their ideas. You know, I really loved the Raiden from the first movie, and then the second movie they cut his balls off. You know, they basically just made him into a fortune teller, and he used to have nuts. You know? I used to love him being just a kind of a crazy. He's a god, but he's kind of crazy and he's kind of an asshole. But I like that about him. You know. So I'm kind of semi having another conversation um, because somebody's talking about the picture. um, it's probably the just campiness to them. Yeah. Well, like I said, I liked Mortal Kombat for like the main the original Mortal Kombat. I just liked I liked I loved Raiden, you know, because it's like just the thunder powers and stuff. Like he I just wish that he could have maintained that in Annihilation. But I love Annihilation at the same time, purely for the reason that it is terrible. You know, somebody reminded me about this the other day. That basically, like, who is it? Jade? Is her name? I think her name's Jade. The woman in green. That is the Asian woman in green. And she basically does the whole thing where she tricks the main character guy, and he basically like you know, there's a whole thing of like she tricks them all, and basically she's like, and it was all so easy, you know. And and the main character guy, oh fuck it, Goku, basically just is all like is all like, you'll die for this, Jade. And he's like, what? I mean, he only tricked you. She only tricked you. She didn't even trick you to die. She basically tricked you so you get captured. She didn't trick you so that you would die. You know, she she didn't do that much even. But no, he's gonna Goku's straight up gonna kill her. Fuck that guy. He's like, he's gonna straight up murder her for that. It's like, what? I know Liu Kang. I know. I just like calling him Goku. Yeah, I know. He's Goku. Did you know that they were originally going to plan a Dragon Ball Z movie, slightly after Mortal Kombat, and he was the actor that plays Liu Kang was in the lead to play Goku, and that would have been badass. Can you imagine all that hair styled in Goku's style hair? I mean, I can't, but it's just like that. That's brilliant. But yeah, Goku. It's basically Goku. That's why I call him Goku, because yeah. Um, yeah, so like I said, he's gonna straight up murder her because she tricked him, you know. It's like, gotcha, and then he just stabs her. Yeah. It's like, fuck that guy. I was just like, also the other day, when somebody was talking about this, it reminded me of the weird freaky balls that travel around under the earth, and how they're like, it doesn't make a lick of sense how they work. It's super bullshit. You know, it seems like a very inconvenient way of transporting. It's super bullshit. And how they don't use any of these characters that basically pop up in the movie. They kind of just pop up in the movie like uh, Nightwolf and Sub-Zero. Sorry, Sub-Zero's brother, and Cyrex and Sector, and basically like they just fuck those guys. I just yeah, and yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, by Howard, I'm offended. That would have been badass. I'm assuming you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about the Dragon Ball Z thing. Like that would have been badass. It's like that would have been bad. Basically, somebody saw Mortal Kombat and potentially Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and they kicked off the Dragon Ball Z hype, because basically they realized that a Dragon Ball Z movie is not entirely impossible if they made characters come to life from Mortal Kombat. And still thinking of Mortal Kombat, the cast list was all set up. And like I said, the guy who played Kung Lao is was the guy who was going to be Goku. And it's like, him in that time frame would have been perfect. It would have been freaking perfect. He basically is very much like Goku. He can speak both Mandarin and English pretty fluently. It's like, you wouldn't have to overdub much. It's you could even have, he's even got the throw. You could basically give him a Super Saiyan throw easily. It would have been, yeah. I meant Liu Kang. Dyslexia. I'm just gonna blame it on that. Who's Kung Lao? That's his brother? No, that's his ancestor. Is he the dude with the saw hat? I don't know. Yeah, he was the one with the saw hat, wasn't he? I just remember it being hysterical that basically at the end of his, like, he very obviously, yeah, the guy with the saw, the saw hat. At the end, when he wins, he always does this animation move in Mortal Kombat, the game, where he basically goes like that with his hat. He's kind of like, it's like touching the rim of his hat with his finger. And I was like, wouldn't that hurt? When I was a kid, I was like, wouldn't that really hurt? Because it's really sharp. So wouldn't that hurt if he did that? I mean, is his finger bleeding now? What's going on? Mortal Kombat was weird, okay? Mortal Kombat's weird. was weird. It is weird. And of course, everybody remembers the line, you know, "Mother, you're alive," and you know, "Too bad you shall die." And oh, I saw this on Tamara's Never Seen. The woman who does the "I Hope You Die" song. Um, she basically does a watch along or a movie review of certain movies, and basically I think she did Annihilation last month or something. And basically there's the Sindel thing where she reminded me of this. Doesn't Sindel do the thing where she just like hair whips somebody? She just hair whips somebody. Is it Raiden? It's Raiden. I think it's Raiden. It's like he's about to come at her, and then she just hair whips him, and it's like, did you just bitch slap him with your hair? That was cool, but bad, naughty. And then doesn't he have like a fight scene somewhere, and then we come back and Sindel has been beaten or defeated? I don't know. I don't know what happens. I have to watch the movie again. It's, you know, that movie is bad that it's good. However, it's verging on the silliness territory, and I basically don't want to hate it, but it's gonna get to the point where I'm gonna get old enough where I'm basically like, I don't like this movie anymore. It's too stupid. But at the moment, I still enjoy it. You know. Was it Sector or Cyrax that did the really cool? Oh, we only saw Sector, didn't we? We didn't actually see Cyrax. Yeah, he got whipped by her hair. It had like this weird effects in it and everything. It's weird. There's a really cool badass shot of either Sector or Cyrax. I can't remember which one, because we only saw the yellow guy, I think. Anyway, he does this thing where he basically is at one end of this corridor in this lab in which they're fighting, and what he does is he basically like he run jumps them, but when he's in the middle of the air, his legs kind of line up, and he does the flying kick, and it's like it's such a cool move. It kind of just puts there's just so much badass in that move, and yeah, I just love that. I just think that was just awesome. The choreography in this is great. I just wish that there was more of it and less horrible CG animal battles, dragon battles. um, fuck's sake. Anyway, guys, Panafox, I'm really glad that you liked the first part of this series. Parts 1 and 2, I don't know whether to make them on one page. I think they were done separate pages. I think they were all individual separate pages. So I might do them that way, but I'm not entirely sure yet. It depends if this part fits. Oh, I've got a private message. I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna see how well it goes. But this particular drawing, it didn't take me long. It took me a couple hours. Like once I figured out what I was doing, it didn't take long at all. I've got to find a picture for somebody real quick, and I'm probably off. I don't know how many pictures I've done. So I'm looking, looking for a very specific, picture, and I can't find it in my stupid folder. I think it's been sorted. I had it just now, but I've lost it. That one, I think. Okay, dude. Remember, it's no rush. I know, but it's just like I said, it's just that it's a fairly easy process because I've essentially done all of the hard work before with the character setup and stuff. It's literally just redrawing it in fairly the same-ish poses with the new bigger character and without a gas mask on. So it's no big deal. It's just that, like I said, I've done all the layout already. I literally just need to do the details, and then because everything's done in pencil, it's pretty much all the shading and all that stuff is usually done just like that, so it's no big deal. It's, you know, it doesn't take me that long compared to other projects. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here with me tonight, and I'm sorry I'm not filming anything, and I might not be filming anything tomorrow, but it depends how I feel. But until I see you again, 4 belly rubs. Hopefully I won't get food poisoning. I don't think I will. Belly salute. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. With more picules. More pictures. So yeah. Have a good night, guys. Thanks, Jeff. Bye-bye.